What is going on, guys? We are back for another live here. We're doing these bi-weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So let us know if you're enjoying these. Drop a comment in the chat, and we're going to get to questions in just a minute. But I want to start this off with some wins. So let's talk about some wins that you guys have had this week. If you want to drop a comment down below and talk about some wins that you had. I have a couple wins I'm going to pull up from our clients, our private clients here. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Got a couple wins. Let me go back. We got Ryan Chai over here, hired his first sales rep, and he is up 325% this year in his video business, which is awesome. We love to see that. What's up, Landon? What's up, Daryl? What's up, J Bond? We got Luke over here. He just closed his first big deal, 3-month, 9K retainer with a roofing company. I know that Ethan, you were working with Luke a bit for that one, right?
Yep.
I believe. Yep. Sweet. Ethan just got off one-on-ones with clients, so I'm going to give him a minute to chill here for a second. We got Ben, 21 years old, just closed a 3-month deal worth $5,400, and then a 6-month deal worth $13,500. I know Ben just graduated college, which is freaking awesome to see. We got Jason Siegel over here, signed a 7K a month contract for 6 months, it looks like, and puts him at $15K a month just from his retainer clients, not including any sort of one-offs, which is awesome. And guys, drop wins in the comments below. I want to know what your wins are this week. It can be big, little, it can be financial, it can be personal, it can be professional. It doesn't matter what it is. A win is a win, and we want to celebrate more of what we want to celebrate what we want to see more of at the end of the day. So last one, we got David Tinoco over here, 24K contract, and is thanking us for the coaching, which we love to see. So. But let's dive in, guys. Let's see. Okay, cool. We got some comments coming in. Let's drop some questions in here. We got Jabon, hey, from Arizona. What is going on? We got Daryl. Good afternoon. Got Landon here. What is going on, dude? And Landon has a question here. Can you speak more to what you mean by method when you say pick a method or market? Yeah, absolutely, man. So the reason we want to niche down is because we want to separate ourselves from our competition, right? So we want to have some sort of differentiating factor. And so you can either niche down in the market or you can niche down in the method. And so what method means is like, think about weight loss, for an example. If you're selling a weight loss solution, there's like keto, right? Ethan's a huge power lifter. He does a bunch of stuff, nutrition, but like there's different types of diets, right? So there's like, there is ketosis, there's carnivore diet, there's all different types of diets. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but like those are examples of methods, right? So when we're thinking about a method, we want to put our video services into a method, or call it like a method. Like we have a video, like some sort of video method that helps our clients get a result. And so that's when we're niching down into the specific method. When we're niching down in the market, that's when we say, hey, we only work with health and wellness companies, right? And so our method doesn't have to be as unique. We don't have to have as unique of a mechanism there, because we're not going after any and all businesses. So if you want to go more broad, when it comes to going more broad and going after any type of business, you have to have more of a niche method. Whereas when you are going more like niche in the market, you don't have to have as much of a niche method. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, with the method, yeah, you've got a, specific process or system that you go through.
Yep.
Like we have with, our one-on-one clients, the pillars that we create, here's what we're going to do, how we do it, and then ultimately the outcome as well. So having a specific system that you follow versus, having a, a specific, like you said, market, health and wellness, lawyers, home service companies.
And ideally, you want to do both if you can, because that gives you a double-edged sword. Because at that point, you have people who you're in one specific niche and you have a unique mechanism. The reason we want to do that is because we want to separate ourselves from all the other competition out there. And so if everyone's saying, hey, we make nice looking content, we make cinematic content, right? If everyone is saying that, then the problem is like everybody looks the same. And so then they start to price shop you to other people in the area. And that's what we don't want. You said, but I don't want to stay in just health and wellness always. Yeah, that's fine. But you do, when you're creating an inbound system, the inbound system only works per niche. So you have to have a specific niche, and that's something we help our clients with, obviously. But like, we want to have one specific niche for the actual system, for the inbound system that we're going to create. So then we can go after them specifically and not say we work with everybody. Because if you say you work with everyone, then ultimately you work with nobody at the end of the day. And you're like, there's a reason that the technicians and the people who are specific make more money at the end of the day. Hopefully that makes sense. What are some things you're seeing on your end, Ethan? Let's talk about it a little bit while we're waiting for some more comments here.
Yeah, I'm gonna see who we got.
Questions. What are some situations you worked through today with some clients? I know you've been talking to a lot of the clients today.
Yeah, today we were talking about doing some outbound, which I know outbound versus inbound. I know we were talking about on Tuesday.
The difference between those.
It's definitely a volume game with outbound. Because like we were talking about Tuesday, you got less leverage in the conversation when you're reaching out to them versus, somebody coming to you and say, kind of raising their hand metaphorically, and ask, for help. And then you have a lot more leverage in that conversation and a reason to reach out to them as well.
Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, man. Any other questions you got, Landon? Drop them below. I know J-Bond's on here. We got Daryl. Let's drop some questions, guys, and drop some wins too. Any kind of wins you have, doesn't matter if it's personal, professional. Let's drop some wins in here. I have a couple questions on my other screen here. Let me pull these up. Let's see here. Drop a comment down below. I want to know how many people are doing one-offs versus retainers. I'd love to know. Drop some comments down below. How many people are doing one-offs versus retainers? Got Joseph in the house. Joseph, you're not far from me, man. I'm in Woodstock. You're in Canton, Georgia. I love it. I've been sending cold emails for the last 2 to 3 weeks and have had little to no luck. This is the first for me in getting no responses. So, Joseph, I'm curious, have you had deals or clients come from cold emails before? If you can drop that in the comment, I'd love to know. And the reason, like, cold emails, they can work, but the problem is you have to get a bunch of different sending domains. You have to do a ton, like you have to send like 5,000 a week for it to work. So like that's one of the bigger issues there is like you have to send a lot of those cold emails for it to work, which is why we prefer having more of like an inbound system where we set up some sort of ad, they drive them into a value video, they then book a call, right? And then they end up speaking with you. What are some tips that you can share for prospecting? So tips I can share for prospecting, like I said, setting up more of an inbound system. I don't know if you're in our school group or if you're in our YouTube channel, but I would go, there's a bunch of videos in there going over how an inbound system works. I'll map it out here on my iPad here in a little bit, if you stick around. But we want to have the intent flipped. So we want them coming to us. We don't want to have to reach out to them, because when we're reaching out to them, you don't have any power in that conversation. It's really, really difficult. Let's see. I have not a ton, currently 2 retainers from cold email, local businesses for sure. Okay. What are those 2? I'm curious. What are the 2? What's the cost of the 2 retainers? Like what is the current price point of those? If you want to drop that below. Yeah. And like I said, cold email can work for sure. The problem is it's just really, really difficult. So what we want to do is we want to set up some sort of ad, driving them into an inbound system, driving them into a funnel where they can book a call and then they reach out to you as opposed to you having to reach out to them. 2,500 and 4,000. Nice. Okay, cool. Do you have a specific niche, Joseph, or is it just any kind of local business? Let me know in the chat here. I literally don't have any retainers. How do I start? So what you're going to want to do is I don't know if you're in our school group or if you've gone to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel. We have a whole video on like how to craft retainers. But the way you want to start is you want to figure out like what are some deliverables or pieces of content that clients are going to need on a monthly basis. It's what we call sticky deliverables. And so we want to have those inside of a package, and then we price point those out. We have examples of retainer-based packages inside our school group. If you go, should be like a link below this video, or there should be a link somewhere on our Instagram where you can check that out as well. And we have a bunch of example template retainers to give you a really good example of what those deliverables and what those videos might look like. But typically they're going to be like social content. It could be testimonial videos. It could be FAQ videos. It could be any kind of video that lives on their social media or website pages that helps them. Let's pull these up here. If I'm a PA, want to do some free work, take a case study. Yeah, I would say local would be the best idea there, Landon, because if you're going to do a free to case study, I talked about this in our last live, but we had Esteban who came into our program. We helped him do the free to case study method. And he basically he did 3 free pieces of content, and each one of those turned into a deal. And I believe he closed about $94,000 from just those 3 free videos. And so we have a whole script in how we use that. But we just you'd want to reach out to them, offer some sort of small video or some sort of small trial of your services. And then you'd say, hey, I'm doing this in exchange for a case study. And then you get the case study from them, and then you would try to upsell them. We have a whole script on how to do that inside of our program as well. But you'd want to upsell them from there after you do an amazing job for them. Let's see. Doing one-off projects. Yeah. I mean, the big issue with one-offs, like we've talked about, is just that it's very inconsistent, and we want to smooth out that revenue and smooth out the cash flow.
Yep.
Cool. Let's pull up Joseph here. Any local, not niche per se, looking to specialize in ad commercial work. Nice. Perfect, dude. Yeah. What do you feel like is kind of the biggest challenge for you right now, Joseph? Is it more so just like getting leads? Is it closing? Is it the sales process? What do you feel like that is there? Drop that below. Sweet. Let me pull up some other questions on my other screen here. Any questions you're getting a lot, Ethan, on your end?
No, I was getting a lot of, like we were talking about the outbound questions, and then actually got a kind of something I hadn't run into or had seen in a while was a client or, a potential client. They were asking about the types of equipment that they used, and they had only, or, they had kind of the assumption that, they only liked Canon, and she thought Sony was too green or Blackmagic was too dark. And so, we kind of, pivoted it back to, based on past experiences that she had with video projects in the past. And also want to pivot it to, the outcome of the work.
Right.
As well.
Right. Exactly. It's the gear. Yeah, the gear doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like the gear, I know we all like. I love gear. I love geeking out over gear. But at the end of the day, as long as the product to the client is quality, they care more about getting results. So, is it going to get them more views? Is it going to get them more leads? Is it going to help them make more money? Right? Because we talked about it in the last call too. But it's like there's 3 main outcomes. You have make money outcomes, you have relationship outcomes, and you have health outcomes. So like, your offer has to fit into one of those outcomes. And for businesses, it's to make more money. So if somebody's hiring you to create content, they fundamentally want to make more money with the content that you're creating. Finding one-off clients, 10K and up. Finding leads has been a struggle. Absolutely. So Joseph, let me map this out for you, dude. I have my iPad here. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to switch on over here. Sorry, Ethan, I'll be back. Okay, cool. So cold outbound. Let's talk about it here. Let me get my pen to connect. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Let's see. There we go. All right. So cold outbound is when you, right here, are reaching out to businesses, obviously. Now, because you're reaching out, they, right here, have all the intent, right? Because you reached out to them. With an inbound system, businesses are reaching out to you. And we're going to map out how that works in a second. Now you have all the intent. Think about if a business books a call on your calendar, you're able to say, hey, what prompted you to want to book a call? Or what prompted you to want to hop on a call and reach out for help? The minute I do that in the first 3 seconds of the conversation, I have all the power. I'm putting them in they're not in a lower position, but you can't be like, if you're going to sell to somebody, or you're going to help somebody through content and convince them to work with you, you have to be at least the same level as them, if not a higher level. Like they have to look up to you. If they're not looking up to you in that sales conversation, it is really, really difficult to get them to buy from you. And when you're doing cold outbound, you're typically a lower status than they are. And so they have all the power because you're reaching out to them, asking to do video, whereas you need to be at the same level. And the way we do that is by having an inbound system. And so typically what we're doing here is we have an ad, right? And the messaging and the details of this, there's a lot more that goes into this, but this is kind of the 30,000 foot view to give you an example. We have an ad that goes to an opt-in page. And that's typically going to be a page where we have a name, phone number, email, right? And then that's going to go to a VSL page, which is a value video page, where there's a video talking about how you help a specific market or type of service get a result using your content. And then there's a calendar to book a time right below there. And then they go to a thank you page down here. And then they become a call. And then when you take a percentage of those calls turn into clients. And because the business owner up here is responding to the ad and reaching out to you, you have all the intent right here. And so we'd craft an ad talking about the pain points of a specific market. Hey, if you're a healthcare provider or you're a medical company and you're struggling with A, B, and C problem, this is going to help you. And we talk about our solution and our solution to their problems. And then you go into an opt-in page, they enter their name, email, phone number here, and then they go to a VSL, they watch more. This qualifies them even further, which basically just puts them in the frame of mind and pre-frames them prior to the call. So then by the time they get to you on the call down here, they already know everything about what you do. You don't have to do any selling here. You just have to see if they're a good fit. And that's what I love about it is you don't have to, I hate sleazy, slimy sales. Like that's not my thing. And so you want to have a system where let me see if you can see this here. You want to have a system where people are already pre-sold on working with you prior to even getting on the call. Because I mean, drop in the chat, guys, how many people like doing hard selling on your services, right? Let's drop some comments in the chat. How many of you really like to hard sell your clients? I bet none of you, right? And so we want to have a system that does all the selling for us because this right here is scalable. You don't have to explain your process and yeah, heck no, exactly. Justin says, heck no. Absolutely, dude. You don't want to have to explain your process to other people. You want them to watch a simple video that explains the process for you. Like if we're going to convince other businesses that we can create content that makes them more money, but we ourselves don't use that content to make ourselves money, I mean, what are we doing, right? It's really, really difficult. Nope. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see, Ryan McPherson here. I sent out 100 DMs to 4 different niche markets. Not one person got back to me. Any idea how to move forward and get different results? So did you do 400 DMs or did you do 100 DMs, Ryan? Let me know. You put that in the chat here. I don't know if you're still online, but I'd love to know, did you send out 100 total or did you send out 400 total? And again, it comes back to what we talk about is like an inbound system versus cold outbound. Whereas like cold outbound, it's just, it's more of a numbers game. So like I said, cold outbound can work. Let's see, 30 per. Yeah, I mean, Ryan, honestly, you're going to want to do 100 per. And this is why I just don't like cold outbound. Like it works, but you're going to need to do at least 100 per. I'd say 100 per week per niche. Right? And that's if you don't have an investment for an inbound system and you can't do this. And really for this, you're only going to need like $5 to $20 a day on something like this to get started. Right? And so I'd rather pay to have people coming to me than have to reach out, look desperate, look needy. Yeah, you haven't gotten, let's see, haven't gotten the simplest no response. Yeah. So 120 total. Yeah, like I said, I would either send more because it is really a pure volume game, which is not very fun, or switch over to more of an inbound system where you have something like this set up where you can have people coming to you and you can just field the people that you want to work with at the end of the day. Yeah. Let's see. Man, I would love to follow up with you at some point. Yeah, can I go a tad deeper into VSL? For sure. Yeah. And also, Joseph, there's a link below if you want to speak with us or speak with our, one of my stunt doubles or whatever. I'm happy to talk more about it. But as far as the VSL, basically what it is it's just a short video. It's going to be anywhere between like 5 and 15 minutes. And it's you. This is you. You guys love my drawing skills here. Isn't that so good? We love it, right? It's you on camera, and it's you talking about a couple different points. So like, we don't have time to go through the entire script. Obviously, it's something we give our full clients, but like, basically what you'd be going over is like who you are. Let's walk through this. Who you are, what you do, who you serve, what problem you serve or what problem you solve, right? How you solve it. This is going to be your unique mechanism or your method here, which we help our clients determine. And then there's going to be a CTA, which is call to action to book a call. And this video lives on a page, and we have a whole system that gets set up with this, right? But this video lives on a page, and then we have a calendar below it, and they can schedule a call with you. Now, this is one small part of it too. So like, people are opting in. Now you have their name, email, phone number. Guess what now? Guess what we can do now? We can follow up with them. Let me move this here. So here we have a whole system we build out with our clients where we have email follow-up and we have text follow-up. All with the goal to get them to book a call again. So now you have a flywheel system to be booking you calls as opposed to you having to reach out to people and book calls yourself. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any other questions on that, Joseph, too. Happy to answer them. I usually say 3 appointments for $1,500, whatever the project is, complete, $2,000 retainer where the client gets to pick out. Nice. Okay, cool. Perfect. Most of my clients are in real estate, but my pricing system doesn't really exist. People just love to work with me and inquire for sure. Yeah. And this is the other thing too, guys, is like, we need to have a repeatable system. I was talking to one of our clients the other day, and they're doing decent amounts of numbers. Like they're doing a decent amount of revenue every single month. But the problem is that they want to be able to sell their business eventually. And it's really difficult to sell your business if you don't have a predictable client acquisition system, right? And that just means like you have a predictable way to get 10 leads a day, 20 leads a day, 30 leads a day, 40 leads a day, whatever it may be. It's just really difficult to sell your business if you don't have that because there's no predictability within the business. And like word of mouth and referrals and cold calls and all that stuff is great, but it's you kind of want it to be the cherry on top. You don't want it to be the main method of you getting clients. You want it to be that added bonus to you getting clients. You want to have a system that predictably brings those people in. I got Jordan Stewart here. How much money is generally needed to invest into the system? Yeah, about $5 to $20 a day is what we start our clients with. But then here's the fun part, right? So like you spend a little bit of money, right? And then you get leads, and then you get calls, and then eventually you get clients. And so once you get that client, right? Let's use this as an example, right? So once you get that client, you take the money from the client, not all of it, but you take a little bit of that money and you put it back in here, right? And then it just becomes a flywheel where you put money in to get clients out. And this is where if you spend $1, you can generate $10 back. And you can't do that in the stock market, right? So like this is where we want to have, especially not right now when it's in chaos and it's just going all over the place. Everyone's portfolios are freaking out. But that's where you have, we call this client financed acquisition. If I can spell. Sorry, guys. My handwriting's terrible today. But that's where you get that first client and then you put the money back in and now you don't have a marketing budget anymore. There's no marketing budget because all you're doing at this point is you're taking money, you're putting it in, you're getting clients, and then from the money that you're getting, you're then putting that back in to get more clients again. And this becomes a flywheel. Myself personally, I've spent, I think it's at this point, $2 million on ads for my businesses. Now, did I just, walk up to Amex and and put it down and say, hey, I'm going to put $2 million on my credit card? No, I would freak out. That'd be horrible, right? What I did is I spent a little bit of money. I got the first client, took some of the money, put it back in, took some of the money, put it back in. And this is what we teach our clients, because then they can get clients automatically instead of having to constantly be worrying about where that next client comes from. Hopefully that makes sense, Jordan. But you're going to need $5 to $20 a day for a couple of weeks to get that first client. And then once you get that first client, we're taking that money, we're putting it right back in, and you can get as many clients as you want. And it becomes this valve that you can turn on and off whenever you want. So if you want to get more clients this month, we just spend more money on the system and then get more money out. Put a thing in the chat, guys. Would you spend $1 to get $10 back? I hope the answer is yes. Ethan, would you?
I would do it for 5.
5. Okay. Cool. Next highest bidder over here, dude. But that's where it becomes this tap where it's like, if you want 5 new clients, we understand the math of how much we need to spend to get 5 new clients, right? I would in a heartbeat. Absolutely. Yes. Yep. Exactly. But this is the beauty of it, guys. It's like, this is the beauty of having a system where you can do this, right? And so this is why you want to have a system that is specific. It gets a certain amount of leads, a certain amount of calls, a certain amount of clients every single day. So hopefully that makes sense. Regards to niching down, how niche do you recommend? Industries, so like broad industries, so like home service, medical, you can do law firms. You just want to look at what the total TAM is, make sure there's enough people, but anything specific like that is usually fine. You wouldn't want to go too specific to where you're like only home builders. You'd want to say like home service companies, if that's what you're going after. 100%. Absolutely, dude. And as far as like, let's talk about this too. Actually, I clicked the wrong comment here. Ryan over here. Perfect. If you had to start from scratch, what 3 to 5 niches would you target to get sales ASAP? I love this question. Let me pull up my whiteboard again. Dun, dun, dun. Let me know if you guys can see this too. Hopefully you can see this. What niches would I target? So this is an amazing question, and I love answering this question. So we want to target service-based businesses. Now, why? The reason we want to target service-based businesses is because these businesses have margin to invest. So people like law firms. Ethan, you want to tell us some too? What are some niches you help our clients go after?
Yeah, law firms, home service companies, medical, fitness, like health and wellness. And then I try to stay away from real estate, nonprofits, and restaurants.
Yep.
And
why do you stay away from those?
Like restaurants in particular, just notorious for very small margins, lots of overhead.
Yep.
Real estate can work. It depends on the level of the agent. If they're in luxury, then they've definitely got a lot more wiggle room in terms of budget, or if you're working with the brokerage directly.
Well, because you have to think about like those real estate agents on those $300,000 to $400,000 houses are only making like 3% typically. And so it's not usually enough to cover that. And really what we found that works really well with real estate is doing the branding for them. So not just doing like the listings where you charge like a smaller amount. You would want to target real estate agents that want branding content. Like I helped one of our clients do a $5,000 a month retainer for like 6 or 7 months with a real estate agent doing all of their branded content. And so when you can do that branded content, you're able to charge a lot more because you're helping them bring in more leads, not just capturing the listing, right? Yep. So hopefully that makes sense, Ryan. So any of these types of industries, anybody who sells something for a high ticket amount of money, right? Like I'd say, $1,000 plus. And the reason is because if you charge them, $5,000 a month and they're charging $5,000 for their first package, you'd say like, hey, do you think I can get you 1 client every single month if you pay me, right? Yes. Whereas if you're targeting like a coffee shop or a mom and pop restaurant, you're going to need to say, do you think that I can get you 500 customers this month? It's a lot less likely, right? Let's see what else we got here. Therapists. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have people working with plastic surgeons. Like Reed, one of our clients, Reed Bard, closed a $48,000 deal with a plastic surgeon. Just a simple practice, like a small practice center. Nonprofits. They do have money, but it just depends on the budgets. Like they definitely do have the money. You got to get the ones that have the budgets, and we have specific ways of going about that as well. Let's see, why nonprofits? We've had people land nonprofit deals, Ryan, but the problem is if they're out of budget for the quarter, it's a little bit more difficult to get those people to commit, if that makes sense. So,
yep.
Let's see. Here's another one. How do you scale a business that is in the $1 to $2 million range, focused on large commercial productions? Yeah, cool. I actually had one of these clients. I'll send you the case study. It was Ethan worked with them. It was why am I blanking on that name? Ben Roberts, right?
Oh yeah,
Ben. So Ben, they were doing about $1 million a year, but they weren't very profitable. Their margins were like 10%, and so that's a big problem. So like if you're doing $1 million a year, but you're almost losing money, you got to be careful there. So here's what you want to do. Let's say you're doing, because we work with a lot of these types of guys as well. Let's say you're doing $1 million a year, right? Christopher, if you're still on here, what's your average size of your productions? Like what's your average, average order value? Like, is it like 50K, 60K, 70K? Like what's the average production cost? While I wait on that, we'll kind of map this out. And also, who are you targeting? Like Fortune 500 companies? I'll wait for your comment. But here's the typical problem, right? So like let's say you're charging 50K. These will only come like maybe once a month. And they're not super consistent. And so you have these, like, if this is your revenue here, you have these like big ups, and then you have these big downs, and then you have these big ups, and then you have these big downs, right? And then it's just really difficult to be able to scale that. So you're up and down, up and down, up and down, because then you land like a big project here, you land a big project here, you land a big project here. And so what you want to do is like with Ben, what we did is we implemented retainers, right? So he still does these projects, but we also target those same clients and small to medium-sized business clients with retainers. So then we can start to smooth that revenue out to where it's consistently going up. Because with retainers, let's say you're doing 5K a month, right? That's every month. And so even though it's a smaller amount of money, it still smooths out the revenue because it's consistent. And so if you have like 10, let's just say you have like 10K a month retainer clients, you're doing 100K a month consistently. Now, any added 50K project, assuming that's, I'm just guessing what your cost is, any added 50K project there is just going to add to this 100K a month, but your baseline is still going to be 100K a month. And so you might have like 50, right? 60, 80, right? On top of that. So then you're doing 150, 160, 180 at these different points, but you can still cover all your payroll and all your expenses and still make margin with just this 100K a month. And so that allows you to pay for those team members, if that makes sense. And that's what we did with Ben Roberts. So he was doing these large productions, but they weren't super profitable. And so for him, it was easier for him to continue to do those, but also implement retainers so he can smooth out that revenue within his business. Multicam, live show production, musical artists. Yeah, so I would just implement a second arm of your business potentially to serve small to medium-sized business clients. And the reason we love, small to medium-sized business clients is really because they don't have content, they're willing to pay on a monthly basis, and you're solving a really big problem for them. And so it's really not that hard. Jordan. Okay, thanks. So is the $5 to $10 for ads on social media website? Does the automated system before they book cost you anything? I'm not sure what you mean by cost you anything. Maybe elaborate a little bit in the comments there. The $5 to $20 a day for ads it's usually we're running some sort of social media ad. So like on Meta. So we're using Facebook, but we want to be really careful because we want to make sure that the languaging of the ad is correct. Let me scroll back up here, because like each one of these stages could not work if the messaging is wrong in the ad, the messaging is wrong on the opt-in page, the messaging is wrong on the VSL. And so like some people have tried to run ads for their business before and it hasn't worked. And typically that's because they don't have the right messaging. And then as far as the automated system costing anything, we have an in-house CRM that we give our clients, so it doesn't cost them anything. It's already set up when they become a private client of ours. So hopefully that makes sense and answers your questions there. Let's see if I have anything else here. Ethan, you got anything on your end?
No, that was kind of the recent topics from the day. You talk about the gear versus the outcome, outbound, having less leverage.
Yep.
And then like the profitability has been a big thing as well, just with all the packages, making sure. I know.
Yeah, I mean, like those huge, big one-off projects are super sexy, but you need to have revenue retention within the business too. And so even though, some people are like, oh, $10K a month for a retainer might be kind of small for me, it still gives you that consistency. And you're typically running at like a 70 to 80% profit margin off of that. And so having both is super crucial. Like the one-off projects are awesome, but you need to also have retainers built in so then you can build that revenue up and have more consistency within the business,
Yep.
Which is huge. Let's see. Oh, one other question is like, how do you create an inbound system and ads that feels authentic to your brand? This was a question from somebody as well. It's honestly pretty easy. We script it in a way with our clients, like our inbound system, our ads, the VSLs that we help them set up. Like we script it in a way that makes it feel like you, right? And it feels authentic to your brand and how you create content. And so you just want to make sure that you are creating the VSL in a way that's going to be representative of you and your brand. And you don't want to be somebody else. And people are going to be attracted to your business because of you, not because you're trying to be somebody else, Let's see. What else? Any other questions, guys? What else do we have? Let's see if I have anything else here. Do you guarantee that we will earn customers and profits? I'm not sure what you mean on that one. Do you mean like our company, or do you guarantee that you're going to help your customers get more profit? If you can elaborate on that, that'd be awesome. Is your system just to make content for companies and let them deal with the traffic? Do you run? It depends. So we have like 50% of our clients, once they start making content, they'll start with making content for the businesses first, not controlling any of the traffic. And then once they feel more comfortable, they'll either start running ads for the clients, or some of them just don't want to, and that's completely fine. So they just don't run any ads for the clients, and they just create the content for them on a monthly basis, and help them that way. But it just depends on what you want to do. Absolutely, Daryl. You got it, man. Any other questions, guys? We'll wrap up here in just a minute. Let's see if I have anything else on my end. Let's see. Your company, if I buy your system, do you guarantee that I will find clients? So we can't here's the thing. We have a guarantee that we've done it 412 times for our clients. So we know what works and what doesn't work. We have a guarantee that it will net you clients. But you have to obviously meet us in the middle, show up, do the work, and obviously implement the system. Because it's kind of like going to the gym. Like if you don't go to the gym, you don't follow the personal trainer's advice, you don't show up and do the meetings, do the workouts, follow the nutrition plan, it's not going to work, right? And so we're very upfront about that. We're very transparent. We do have that guarantee that you will land clients from it, but you have to follow everything we say. We build out a custom Monday board for each one of our clients, and we work with you to knock those steps out on a weekly and daily basis. And we make sure that you're on track and hold you accountable. Because at the end of the day, everyone could lose weight and get ripped if they want to. But why is not everyone in shape? It's because of accountability, right? And so like, if you don't have somebody holding you accountable to do the things you know you should be doing, it's really difficult to get the result. So it's whether you work with us or somebody else, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just more so like getting in a room of people who are doing what you want to do, and then also having somebody who can hold you accountable. So hopefully that makes sense. Absolutely, dude. You got it, Ryan. Absolutely, Jordan. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, Jordan. Feel free to like DM me or DM anyone on our team. We're happy to answer more like specific questions for you specifically. Should I work on creating an opt-in page before even starting? Yeah, so we do everything, Jordan. So like, we'll take people from basically they have no niche, no idea what they want to do. We help them craft the offer, craft the niche. Cause like, you got to remember, like we've done this for 412 people one-on-one. Like that's me and Ethan have literally worked with it seems like just yesterday, but we started this like 5 years ago. It's crazy. But we've worked with these people we worked with 412 people one-on-one over the past couple of years. So like, we literally help people who are starting from absolutely nothing and get the offer in place, the niche in place. We help them set up. We have all the systems already set up that we give you. So the opt-in page of the VSL, like everything's already done in our full program. We're just helping you customize it to your specific business. So hopefully that makes sense. And to us, it's just a science at this point. We just do the same thing every single day. And I record the case studies, and Ethan, we got offers by Ethan over here who helps with all the offers, the sales. We got Dan on our team. We got Evan on our team. We got Jake on our team. We have Hakeem. We have Danny. A lot of people behind the scenes you don't see, helping all of our clients get the results that you see. And we love doing it every single day. So absolutely, Joseph. Glad it popped up on your LinkedIn. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got to connect. If you're in Canton, I'm in Woodstock. I'm off like Town Lake area, if you know where that is. I was just up in Canton. Last night we were at the by the Northside Hospital. My wife used to work as a nurse at Northside, so she used to go up there all the time. So and they're building that super crazy complex up there as well. All the big shopping center by the river. Let's see. T with Raymond, absolutely, dude. You got it. Let me know if you have any other questions. Reach out to us. There should be a link below this video if you have any questions. Let's see. Goliath, say someone inquires about a date with your system. So do events and content. Yeah, so like what our clients do is they have a calendar. Their clients book on that calendar, and then they show up to the call. Now, we'll talk about this maybe on the next live next week. But you want to have a productized service where you have multiple packages, where there's specific packages in there, and you're not redoing the wheel or custom quoting every single time. Hopefully that makes sense. Off exit 20. Yeah, dude, I'm off. I don't even know I think I'm off exit 8, off 75 or 575. So yeah, grab some coffee, dude. That's funny. It's funny to see. We've had a lot of people. We had who lives in Woodstock too that just joined the program. Ethan. Randall Beck. Yeah, he lives like 5 minutes away from me. It's funny. I got to grab coffee with him sometime.
Yep.
It's crazy, dude. We've had how many people? Like 4. We've had 400 and I'm gonna look. Actually, it's more than 412 at this point. I'm gonna pull up our tracking sheet.
Wasn't Randall closed like 90 grand?
Yeah. Just like the sales process. It's crazy. I love to see it. Let me see how many people. 473 one-on-one clients so far. That is wild, dude.
Jeez.
Let's see. What state are you in? I'm near Boston. I actually have family in not Boston, in New Hampshire up there. I'm in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm near Atlanta, Georgia. So not too far. Or far from you, but not too far from Joseph. So but yeah, it's funny because then we get clients in the program and they know each other. They're in different areas. One of our clients lives right near you, Ethan. You're downtown Atlanta. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. He was 2 minutes down the road. I found out on the onboarding call.
It's so funny.
Go to the same
my typical response is, yes, I'm currently available. Let's talk about discuss. Yeah. So what we do is we just say, hey, book a time on our calendar. Let's see if we can help. Then on that call, we want to go through a proper sales process, which maybe we should talk about this on next Tuesday. But like, proper sales process is going to be like intro rapport, discovery, figure out what their problems are, diagnosis. So diagnose the issue and what it is that you're going to help them with. And then after you diagnose that issue, then from there, you're going to want to pitch whatever packages you have, but you don't want to pitch price over DMs because it never works. Like there's no value that's been built there. So it's really difficult to close them. Oh, you moved to ATL in April, dude. Awesome. What part of ATL are you in? That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's see. Anything else here? Any other questions, guys? Let us know in the comments too. Do you guys like these lives? Like, do you like us doing these? If so, drop a comment below. And we're doing these every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you haven't actually joined our school group or joined our private group, we post exclusive content in there. There should be a link below this video to join, either get the retainer pack or join the academy. And the academy is our private school group. Sent you a DM. Absolutely. Yeah. Did you send it on school? I'll check after. These lives have been awesome. Absolutely, man. I'm glad you guys are getting value from it. We love doing this. This is literally all Ethan and I talk about. We have 16 calls a week, not just me, but our entire team. We got Ethan, Evan, Jake, we got Dan, everybody in there helping with sales stuff. But yeah, no, we love doing this. This is all we do and all we talk about every day. So this is our vibe.
Yes, sir.
In Decatur. Oh, nice. Yeah. Decatur's not too far. IG. Yeah. I'll have either me or someone from my team will get back to you in IG and make sure that you are taken care of. And guys, if you have any questions, shoot us a DM. Also, shameless plug. If you want to learn more about how we help privately one-on-one, should be a link below this video to book a call if you want to learn more, and you can talk to someone from our team and we can see if we can help and we can kind of go from there. So, Ethan, anything else on your end, dude?
No, I think it's been a good call. A lot of good questions, a lot of variety. It's been good. Oh, we got
Absolutely.
Danny here.
We got Landon, and then what happens at 1K subs, dude? I just started my YouTube up, so I don't know what's going to happen. I got to think about that. I just started seriously posting YouTube content like a couple of weeks ago, if not like about a month ago, I think at this point. So what happens at 1K subs? Danny over here is going to do a live, and Danny's
going to bring Danny on and bring sales questions.
Yes, let's bring Danny on. You can ask him all of your sales questions, and he will be able to answer all those for you. So that's what's going to happen at 1K. So if you guys haven't, subscribe to the channel, show us some love. We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, and now we're just doing it more on YouTube to help you guys out for free and give you as much value as we can. So awesome, guys. That is all I have. If you have any other questions, let us know, and we will see you in the next live. See you guys.